5 fragrances that always put a smile on my face. Now these are 5 fragrances that are it just makes me happy whenever I smell them. These either have very good memories associated with them or have some good experience or whatnot. These are just 5 that always just makes me extremely happy every time I get to smell them. Hey guys, welcome back to another video today, and this is a more kind of a personal, intimate video because I'm not really in the best mood in my life at the moment. I'm gonna still try to get through this video for you guys because I am promising 1 video a day now. I am back fully on YouTube, which is nice, but not really in a good mood simply because of everything that's going on in the world. I'm not gonna talk too much about it, but I would be lying if I said that it didn't affect me in just completely every way. Financial, business, personal, it kind of just derailed me in a way that, but nothing I can do about it. I'm just a little bummed out. So I decided to pull out 5 fragrances here that every time I smell them, it just puts me in a very good mood, a very light, now kind of happier mood. So before we begin this video, I know a lot of you guys have these type of fragrances as well, that when you smell these ones, it just puts a big smile on your face. It just makes you feel like the happiest person ever. So leave that fragrance down in a comment section below. Share which fragrance makes you the most happy ever. I don't care what it is, niche, designer, cheapy, you know, we all have different like experience with fragrances. So share that down below, that one fragrance that always put a smile on your face, and maybe I'll go try some of those and maybe try to connect with you guys at a more personal level because you guys are my fans. I count you guys as somewhat of a pseudo family in a way. So yeah, share that below. All right, so the first fragrance that I have right here, I think I'm gonna go with a lighter one first, as in like makes me happy but not the most happy. So the first one here, I'm gonna go with Dior Feve Delicieuse. Now Feve Delicieuse is a very, it's just a very delicious scent. Every time I smell it, it takes me back to the first time I discovered this fragrance, or the first time I even heard about this fragrance, and that is on Jeremy Fragrance video back in 2016, like the early 2016, where he did like a niche winter list. Remember back when Jeremy used to do niche winter lists or niche seasonal lists? Those were the days. He introduced this one as like the best fragrance ever. And at the time, I was gonna go on vacation in Thailand, and like when I did go on vacation, I was looking around for this at like the boutique. And when I first finally found it, I smelled it and I was like blown away, because at that time, my collection was I think 10 bottles, 12 bottles, 13 bottles, something like that, very small. And I had mostly fragrances that I bought from Perfume Mania, so a lot of cheapies, a lot of designers, not even good designers. But I was never really exposed to something that smells this different. Like Feve, it's super different. It's tonka bean heaven. It is such a gorgeous smelling, gourmandish type scent. And it is, by the way, this current formulation is discontinued. That's sad, but not much you can do about that. But back to the story, I was never exposed to something that smells that different. And that's when I kind of fell in love with fragrances all over again. Because I smelled this fragrance and I was thinking, wow, how many more unique fragrances can there be out there in the world? And it just reignited my love for fragrances. And I think not long after I got back from Thailand, in July or something like that, and I started my channel in August. So right about a month after I came back from Thailand, I started my own YouTube channel. And I think this was one of the fragrances that pushed me over the edge to finally do it, because I want to now discover a lot more unique scents. I want to discover what's out there, how unique a fragrance can be. And my channel at the time was really focused around that, really focused around the niche, the discovery, the indie. I was really into just pure fragrance discovery. I wanted the most unique thing in the world. And this is one of those fragrances that kind of kickstart that. And this really just, it makes me happy to smell it because it just smells so fantastic, and it brings me back to that time where I first smelled it, I first discovered it, and how blown away I was. So Feve Delicieuse, still today one of my favorite fragrances ever. It is sadly discontinued, well, this formulation anyway. A new formulation, I have not really tested that out vigorously, so I really can't compare like, you know, apples to apples with this one. But yeah, this one, from my testing so far, the newer formulation is weaker, but Feve as a smell itself is still fantastic. One of the best that Dior ever really released. So next one here, number 2, we're gonna go with another niche fragrance. This one is Silver Mountain Water by Creed. Now, Cinnamon Water holds a very special place in my heart because this was my first gift really as a fragrance. Well, the first niche fragrance that I received as a gift. This was bought by my ex-girlfriend, and when I got this, I remember just like, I was so happy because at the time I didn't really have a lot of money. And I was smelling a lot of Creed fragrances in Thailand on that vacation. I had bought Aventus myself, loved Aventus at the time, and when I went to boutique, I smelled all the other Creed fragrances, and Silver Mountain Water, I absolutely fell in love with Silver Mountain Water over here. And I told my ex-girlfriend about it at the time, and she, super nice that she is, surprised me with the bottle when I got back to Alaska. So that was a really happy time for me, and Silver Mountain Water has a lot of just good memories in general associated with it because I wear it quite a lot, and it was kind of like the couple scent for me and my ex-girlfriend at the time, so there's a lot of good memories there. And the smell itself is pretty fantastic. It's one of the most unique Creeds out there. There are some clones of it out there you can find for cheap. I forgot what the name is, but it's like 15, 20 bucks. You can look it up, I guess. But it does not beat the original for sure. Very versatile spring fragrance, absolutely a gem in the Creed line. I'm still glad that I have like the 4-ounce bottle of this and it's not in a new bottle. I don't know if they'll ever reformulate this, to be perfectly honest with you. They don't really reformulate fresh fragrances all too much, but this is an absolute gem and one that just has a lot of memories for me associated with it because in the beginning of my fragrance career on YouTube, I wear this one very, very, very heavy. I love this fragrance so much. It's one of those fragrances that I'm always gonna wear. It's always gonna be in my top 10 spring list. It's always gonna be in my top 10 niche fragrances of all time. It's never gonna go anywhere. It's just put a big smile on my face, relaxing, refreshing, and it's another artsy fragrance, much like Feve Delicieuse that kind of kickstart my channel for me. Next, let's jump into the last niche that we have on this list. This one is Venetian Bergamot by Tom Ford. And this one, much like Feve and Silver Mountain Water, I discovered this one in Thailand. So at the time I was at the mall and I was just smelling a whole bunch of fragrances and I came across Tom Ford for the first time. And Tom Ford, from what I watched on YouTube at the time, I wasn't a YouTuber myself, I discovered that Tuscan Leather, Tobacco Vanille, and Oud Wood are the 3 most talked about Tom Ford ever. So when I finally found a Tom Ford boutique, I went there and I was so excited. I remember smelling everything, but at the time, like in my head, I wasn't really ready for like the uber niche that it's in the Tom Ford line. I smelled Tobacco Vanille and I was like, damn, that's strong. I was like, oh, I can't wear that. And I smelled Oud Wood and I was like, I like Oud Wood, but it didn't feel like me at the time. I smelled Tuscan Leather. I was like, oh, hell no. It was strong off my skin, but for some reason I smelled Venetian Bergamot and I was like, this is the most unique shit out there in the world at the moment. And I smelled it, and it's a really nice scent. It's a citrus, white florals, a little bit powdery, a little bit slightly sweet, but very floral, very white floral heavy with some citrus on it. It smells absolutely gorgeous. I thought at the time it smells like a perfect kind of a vacation, relaxing scent. I smelled it and I was just like, it just puts me in a really good mood. It's one of those Tom Ford's hidden gem that you guys should definitely try. And I have worn this in the summertime in Thailand on vacation. We're at the beach and it smells just absolutely gorgeous in the sun. It smells absolutely gorgeous in the beach. And you wouldn't really think a powdery scent works that well in the sun. It really does. It just shines off my skin perfectly. And I remember loving every second of it. And the more I wear this, the more I just fall deeply in love with this, and this kind of opens my door to wearing something that's a little bit more floral, a little bit more metrosexual, I guess. Like I became a little bit more open to wearing fragrances. Same with Feve Delicieuse as well, that kind of opened my mind to wearing different type of fragrances. And this one is one that I actually bought full retail with my own money. The only fragrance really that I bought full retail niche-wise at that time, because Aventus I got off discounter and Silver Mountain Water I got as a gift. Feve Delicieuse was like a combination of like my money and like, you know, my relatives' money that kind of helped me buy it at the time. But this one was like the fragrance that I spent full retail on. Tom Ford at the time was like $200 something. And at the time where I didn't really have a channel, or I didn't really have the means to buy expensive stuff, this was it. This was like this shit right here. I was so proud I have this at the time, and it just smells absolutely fantastic. I still love it today. All these fragrances, they were my favorite then, and they're still, surprisingly, after smelling thousands of fragrances, my favorite today. That's something that just attributes to scent memory. Sometimes you smell a fragrance that you smelled in the past that has a good memory associated with you, and you instantly fall back in love with that fragrance. That scent memory, that scent sentimentality is just so strong in these fragrances that you'll never fall kind of out of love with it, because every time you smell it, you're reminded of such a strong emotion. And that's why I think fragrances are such a special thing. Rarely do I see any other means that people use to remind themselves so strongly of a time in their life. Scents are just one of those things that has that kind of power, and I think that's why I love fragrances so much. At a deeper level, that's why I love fragrances so much. So yeah, that was Venetian Bergamot by Tom Ford. Very nice fragrance. I highly suggest you guys check this one out. It is just absolutely fantastically gorgeous. So that was the last of the niche. We're gonna jump into the last two fragrances now. These two are both designers. I'm gonna go into the first one first. This one is Halloween Man by Jesus del Pozo. This one is one of my earlier fragrances in my collection. So I started using fragrances back in like 2013. At the time I had like 7 bottles, and this was one of them. This was one of the fragrances that I picked up. BOGO at Perfume Mania, by the way, which by the way is the worst deal on earth. I, at the time, did not know you can purchase fragrances online. So I went to Perfume Mania and got completely ripped off because their prices suck. Because you need to buy one retail to get the other one half off, when you can go on FragranceNet nowadays and get all of them like 7% off retail price. So Perfume Mania really like gypped you at that. I'm still not happy with them. But I did buy quite a few fragrances from them at the time. At this one though, is my absolute favorite. This is a gem. This is one of those fragrances that I love simply because of how many reaction it given me, how many times it boosted my confidence through the roof, because this is one of my most complimented fragrance ever. And every time I would go out to the bar, to the club, or if I just wear this casually, my friends would love it, everyone would love it. And at the time, I didn't even know about 1 million. Like 1 million was probably the most popular fragrance at the time, and I didn't even know about it. That's how new I was to fragrances. This is probably my 3rd bottle or 4th bottle of fragrances that I ever owned, so I was fairly fresh. Did not know what 1 million was at all. I smelled this and I was like, this is the shit. This is so good. I was 17 at the time. And oh my God, it was absolutely mind-blowing when I smelled it. And then every time I wear it, people love it, and it boosts my confidence up, dude. I was 17, so my hormone was like running wild. And every time girls like compliment me, I was like, bro, I'm gonna that chick for sure. It never really happens, but but at the time I was feeling like an absolute monarch wearing this fragrance. So that's the scent memory that I have associated with this one. It is just wonderful. It takes me back to those years and how simple things was at those years. I didn't really have a lot of worries. I just had fun, and I miss those times. Every time I smell this, reminds me of that. And bleeding into my college years as well, when I was 20 years old, this still retains the common factor that is God tier. Every time I would go out to the bar and club in college, I love to dance, man. If you guys don't know, I love to dance, but I need to be like a few drinks in before I dance. And I would dance with like girls all the time, like all the time. I'll have dance partners, because when you're drunk, man, you're just drunk. So I have like dance partners that I dance with regularly, and they always compliment me for this one. So this is like my go-to clubbing scent when I was in college, and it absolutely ruled, man. Absolutely fucking killer of a scent. Like, bro, I've lost count how many times I've had a compliment with this at the bar. It's like, it's uncanny how many compliments you can get from this, and it's like $20. This got me more compliments than any other fragrances that I probably own. And a lot of really good times, So if you're in college, dude, don't care what other people are wearing, just pick up this. Trust me, it just works. It just works. If you're an extroverted person, you love to go out and you just love drinking, this is just a gem. You just need to buy this. And it's 20 bucks, so it's like a pizza. Really cheap. But yeah, a lot of great memory associated with this one. Love it to death. That was Halloween Man by Jesus del Pozo. Last one here, we have Armani Code by Armani. Now, this is not the original bottle that I got initially. This is the Casino limited edition one that I happened to find. This was released in 2008 as a limited edition. I found this one and I was like, oh my God, I need to grab it, because I live in Vegas. This is my favorite scent ever. It's just a really good association with me. I bought it right away. I'm glad I have it now. But the original Armani Code bottle that I got when I got it, it was such a special moment. Now this is, I would say, probably the most sentimental fragrance that I own in my life. This is the number one. If I were to lose every fragrance in my collection, and I were to really realistically just keep one based off like scent memory and everything, the smell and everything, based off everything, I would keep Armani Code just because it is my favorite ever, and it's just so many good memories. Let's start off with the when I got it. So when I got this fragrance, it was my birthday. I was in college at the time. I think I was turning 20 years old or maybe 19 years old. I forgot exactly what age I was turning, but my girlfriend at the time, we lived together in an apartment. We go to college together, we lived together. And at the time, our relationship wasn't too good. We fight all the time because we were young and we didn't know how to handle emotions quite well. So fights between us happened quite often. So it was my birthday, right? And she decided to pick a fight. Like, it was a big fight. I forgot exactly what we fought about, but the whole day she was being an absolute bitch to me. Like, every second of the day that's possible, she's like grinding me down. I thought for sure that day, man, I'm gonna break up with her and it's gonna be over. I was so pissed, I was so angry. And we were heading back together from the college back to our apartment, right? And the whole time, like, she was just grinding my gears, dude. We got into the elevator, we live on the second floor. We got on the elevator, and after the elevator reached our floor, she stormed out of the elevator to get to the room. And I was like, I don't even know what's going on at that point anymore. She's just like batshit crazy. And I was like, bro, I'm done. I just want to just fucking sleep it off. And she went into the room before me, and I just like kind of slow walk, follow her. And when I opened the door, as I just turned the handle to get in, like, my life at the time, I just thought it was sucking so bad. I opened it and there it was. Surprise! All my friends, like I think 15, like 20 of them, all my best friends at the college at the time, and some of their friends were just waiting in the bedroom with cake. And there she was, my bitchy girlfriend, holding a cake with a lot of candles on it, and they just started singing happy birthday, and I was like, you planned this, you planned this. I could not believe the whole day she was just leading me on. It was so flawlessly executed. I fell for it just completely. And dude, it was the best birthday of my life. I remember that day like it was yesterday. I love that birthday so much. And the gift that she gave me, besides the cake and everything, she gave me Armani Code, the original Armani Code. And I remember loving that scent. I smelled it for the first time and I was like, man, this is dark, masculine, slightly sweet, mysterious kind of vibe. It fits me so well, I thought at the time. And oh my God, it was, man, thinking about it now, it's like, man, life was so much simpler back then. I loved college. I missed college so much. And that day was like the best day ever. I've never had a better birthday. That was the highlight birthday. That nothing can top that in my life. Yeah, it's just, I thought for sure that was like kind of like the end of the relationship and everything was gonna go bad. But you know, we did end up breaking up, obviously, now that I'm here, you know, in America, and you know, we split ways a long time ago. But that day was just an amazing day, and I got Armani Code. And I smelled it, again, loved it ever since the first sniff. I wore it a lot in college. It was my college signature scent alongside Halloween Man. Halloween Man is more of like the clubbing kind of nighttime one. This one is what I wore to classes a lot. I do wear this out to clubs from time to time, and I do get a lot of compliments with this as well. It's like, there's nothing that can go wrong with this scent. I love it, has great memories associated with it. It gets a lot of compliments, people love it. It smells fantastic. Nothing was wrong about this scent. I love every second that I wore it. I love every second. I even looked at the bottle. It was just so many good things with this one. And oh my God, that's why I love Armani Code so much. That was the best day of my life. The most memorable things and the happiest I ever remember emotionally being. So Armani Code was there for that day. I got it first, and every time I wore this fragrance, like I said, the experience are always amazing. And yeah, that's why Armani Code put a smile on my face every time I wear it, every time I look at it, or every time I just picked it up and look at the bottle. I'm like, yeah, I remember this. Like, I remember that exact moment, that exact day, and it was just a beautiful time, lovely time. So yeah, that was it for this video today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for getting through this with me. And don't forget to leave your comment down below on which fragrances that puts a big smile on your face. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys are all right around the world. I hope the best for every single one of you, no matter where you are. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video tomorrow. Peace out and bye.